Okay, this week the Tour de France goes into the Savoie region, into the high mountains of the Alps, and these are the days for the big men of the Tour to make their mark and make their opponents suffer, to put some distance behind them. But the Savoie region is a stunningly beautiful part of France and is well known for making some of the most beautiful aperitifs in the world, including the big three of Americanos, Quinquinas, and of course, Vermouths. Now, while the riders can't enjoy something, we certainly can. Now, the Vermouths, most Americans really, when we think about it, Vermouth is something to be avoided in a martini, which is really too bad because they are wonderful cocktail builders and they are absolutely splendid to have as a sipping drink by itself. So what is Vermouth? Well, it's an aromatized fortified wine. So starting with a 75% white wine base, it's aromatized, meaning it's infused with botanicals like chamomile or juniper or wormwood, right? And then it's fortified. So it's distilled, it's adding a distilled spirit, usually a brandy. And the word vermouth actually comes from the French pronunciation of the German word Vermouth. Yes, for wormwood, right? And that's that mystical plant, that ingredient that's part of absinthe. But vermouth has been around for a long time. Hippocrates macerated wormwood and other botanicals to make medicinal tonics for all kinds of ailments. The Romans followed. But the modern vermouths really started with the Duchy of Savoie, which encompassed both the Savoie region, the southeast region of France, with its capital of Chambéry, and the Piedmont version just across the Alps with its capital of Turin on the Piedmont side. But when the Kingdom of Sardinia combined all of those regions, they moved the capital from Chambéry to Turin, and it was there that an apothecary named Carpano made the first red sweet Italian-style vermouth that became the belle of the ball with the French court, right? So they all spoke French. That was the language of the court even in those times. And so that really really took off, and that became the standard by which everyone judged those types of vermouths. And then it was a couple decades later in the southeast of France that Noli Prat actually created the first dry white vermouth. And so that's why you have a French style, which tends to be thought of as the dry white, and the Italian style is the red sweet. But the truth is, all of these producers will make both kinds, in fact, multiple kinds, including Dolin, which makes which we're going to use to make our cocktail today, which makes a white, medium sweet, clear version of the vermouth. So, and you'll see that that on the label, it'll be Vermouth de Chambéry. They're actually AOR designated protected regions for making vermouth in Chambéry. And then you'll also see it, nope, not on the Dolin, but you'll see it in the Cocchi and others that come from Turin. You'll see Vermouth de Torino. And that's really just the AOC, but Dolin makes a red version, and obviously the Cocchi Americano is a clear version of this. But today, we're gonna make a Negroni Blanc from the spirits from the Savoie region. And we're gonna start with our gin, which isn't a normal Negroni, right? It's gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth. So here we're gonna go with an ounce of our gin. Now, I'm not using French gin, I'm just using good old Bombay Sapphire. And then we're gonna substitute the white, medium-bodied, sweet white vermouth for the red sweet vermouth. And then we're gonna add this Gentian, which is an Americano Suze, that's also from the same region of Chambéry. It is tough, right? It's got quite a bite to it. It's not for everybody, but you add an ounce there. So it's 1 part, just as the normal Campari 1:1:1 ratio. We're gonna stir this up, and then we're gonna strain it into our ice glass here. And then we're gonna garnish it with Rather than an orange slice, we're just going to do a quick peel here. And what I like to do, as many bartenders do, is just sort of wipe it around the edge there, drop it in, and there you have the Negroni Blanc. So let's toast the riders, the men suffering in the saddle in the high mountains. Cheers to you to make our lives enjoyable this September when I guess all sports are now running. Anyway, cheers to you and cheers to everyone. Salute.